looking for ways to enhance the value of your home, painting your front door should be at the top of your list. Not only is this an inexpensive update, it can also result in huge benefits for you from a financial standpoint. Plus, a newly painted door can make you smile because it's something to look forward to when you pull up to your home. Luckily, you are in real estate heaven and we're happy to give you tips on how you can paint an exterior door, including what color and what kind of paint works best on your home. Remember that while the first step is completing any of these amazing courses, the second and possibly more important step is taking action, even if it's imperfect action. Does your front door need some loving? We've got you covered. The answer to your question is a high-quality paint that is best for your doors. As a homeowner, it's important to maintain your house, especially the front door. Painting is a quick way of achieving this with the added bonus of boosting curb appeal. But not just any old paint will do. You'll want to use the best paint for your front door. Paint that is durable and gives off the perfect amount of sheen with colors that complement your door material. Read on for help selecting carefully made paints for your home, plus helpful tips on how to get professional quality results when painting your front door. Let's talk about choosing the best front door paint. What should you think about? Whether you're tackling a paint project or just browsing for new ideas, it's important to learn the basics of paint. Learn all about the different types of paint suited to different surfaces and locations, as well as basic information about what paints are right for your front door. Consider the durability and color richness of the finish you choose, keeping in mind that sooner or later you'll be painting again. You should be able to find paint or a paint and primer product that is labeled exterior or interior/exterior. This type of paint is designed for both indoor and outdoor use. The paint you choose must withstand all the elements, including rain, snow, and hail. But not just that, your family and guests come in contact with your front door more than anything else throughout the year. We recommend exterior paints or paints that are formulated just for this, or interior/exterior paints, as they can be used for both inside and outside of your house without peeling or cracking. Thicker paint formulas are best for tasks like painting a bathroom or kitchen, which can tolerate more wear and tear than an interior paint. These paints contain more resins and additives, which means they're stain, chip, fading, and peeling resistant. Interior paints are not made to endure this heavy use. Interior grade paints often perform best on exterior doors. Today's primer and paint formulas are often half the cost of single paint products, and they provide equally good coverage in some scenarios. If you're tight on time, choose a one-step product that has enough dry time between coats to accommodate your situation and needs, plus allows more hours to be allocated towards other tasks. Finally, the decision between interior paint and exterior paint depends on the condition of your door. If you don't want to go through the hassle and expense of drywall, these tips may help. A primer and paint product may be sufficient if: Number 1, it may be the first time you've ever painted the front door of your home. Number 2, you're painting a previously painted door in the same color. Number 3, you've decided to switch from lighter to darker paint. To prevent paint adhesion, you will need to use a separate paint and primer. Number 1, you're painting a door that is already stained. Number 2, you're switching from a dark paint to a light paint color. Number 3, the existing paint is coming apart and there are places where it's been removed or has flaked off. Number 4, you want to cover an oil-based paint coat with water-based paint. The paint you choose will determine how your exterior paint can withstand the elements. Always use a coordinating exterior primer to prepare your surface for the next coat. If you need 2 coats of paint, make sure the primer is labeled for both interior and exterior use. Applying primer may seem like a hassle. The finishing coat can't be enjoyed right away, which feels less satisfying than seeing the new color transform the door. But it's essential. The primer covers some of the old paint, allowing you to use less paint while still getting full coverage. It also helps with texture and porosity so that the final coat will last a long time. Either a water-based primer, for example Zinsser Bullseye Primer for $22.98 for 1 gallon at Home Depot, or an oil-based interior/exterior primer, for example, Kill Z interior/exterior primer, sealer, and stain blocker for $22.98 for 1 gallon at Home Depot should suffice. However, if you are painting over an existing paint coat with a water-based paint coat, for example, Kill Z bonding primer, $42.98 for 1 gallon at Home Depot, it's best to use a special type of primer formulated to stick to glossy surfaces like that of an oil-based paint coat. For example, Kill Z Adhesion Primer, $42.98 for 1 gallon at Home Depot. When buying a primer, you should find one that is close in color to that of the paint, such as a light gray primer for a lilac door. You can also ensure an exact match by purchasing your primer in white and asking the store employees to tint it with your door paint before you leave the store. Consider what type of paint you want to use depending on the type of door material. There are two basic types of exterior paints, oil and water-based. That said, water-based paints have a few exclusive features. Water-based paints have an excellent color retention, which makes them well-suited to front doors that are often exposed to the elements. These paints are also eco-friendly, produce fewer fumes, and dry faster than oil-based paints. Not only can they be successfully applied on the top of oil-based paint, but it's possible for homeowners to use both types of paint on the same door. Though, some will recommend choosing one over the other based on the aesthetic you're trying to achieve. Oil-based paints are a more durable choice because they include pigment and resin in a thinner. When the thinner evaporates, the resin creates a hard coating that resists stains. The downside is that oil-based paints give off more fumes and take longer to dry than latex paints. If your front door is made of wood, you'll want to start by doing some research on the best paint for wood surfaces. Next, narrow your choices based on what type of paint would be the best option for you, wood or something else. Number 1. When painting any wood door that does not bleed, such as pine or white fir, use a water-based exterior paint, such as BEHR Premium Plus Ultra Exterior Paint and Primer. Water-based paints emit less fumes, dry faster, and result in less color fading. For cedar, cypress, or any other bleeding type of wood, you want to choose an oil-based exterior paint, like Rust-Oleum Protective Enamel. Oil-based paints are less susceptible to tannins seeping into the paint and leaving unattractive splotches in your finish. If you paint metal doors with oil-based paint, they won't rust. If a metal door is made of steel, for example, use oil-based spray paint to keep it corrosion-free. When painting a fiberglass door, choose a water-based paint to avoid tugging and pulling the paint away from the slick surface. Oil-based paints can be too thick for this and will get stuck, making it difficult for you to get even coverage. You'll want to go for a semi-gloss coating which is attractive and durable. Exterior paints come in various sheen qualities, with the flat/matte being the lowest to the gloss being the highest. Semi-gloss is best used on front doors because it can last longer and be more resistant to stains or scratches than other paint products. It's also a shinier coating, which means it will highlight carvings or decals on your door, as well as look great when you let the light hit it from inside. Lastly, semi-gloss is less noticeable for blemishes that show up in other sheens without any problem, such as brush strokes or minor imperfections. Fading is a common problem for just any type of paint. To reduce the damage, it's important to prioritize fade resistance. One of the most exposed parts of your house, the front door, can be severely damaged by intense sunlight and its UV rays. A storm door, awning, or tree shade can help protect your home from this kind of damage. But today's exterior paints have also been developed with fade-resistant properties, so there's no need to worry about fading. Exterior paints may be labeled fade-resistant, UV-resistant, or both. They are often manufactured with color-fast pigments and higher levels of binders to ensure crisp color even in the hottest sunlight. While no paint is fade-proof, modern exterior paints can usually withstand an average loss of 1% to 3% per year, while older paints often fade at an average of 7% per year in direct sun. To keep colors true, you should make sure your paint has a fade-resistant quality. However, it's also important to consider how much light is reflected from the color before choosing a tint for your walls. The LRV, or light reflectance value, is rated on a scale of 0 to 100 and reflects how much light the paint reflects when dry. The higher the LRV, the more light the color will reflect and less likely it is to fade with exposure to sunlight. The LRV measures the light reflectance of a paint color. A higher LRV means the paint will retain its color when the sun shines on it, and the opposite is true. Keep this in mind when choosing your new paint color for your door. When it comes to varying shades, lighter, more muted colors like beige or mint green have a higher LRV, whereas darker, richer colors such as cherry red or navy blue will have a lower LRV and not hold their colors so well. Black paint, which often has an LRV of 0 and absorbs most light that hits it, will fade quickly. Certain door manufacturers will void your warranty if you put black paint on the front door because the heat absorption can warp it. However, if your warranty allows it and your front door is shaded outside, you might find the color's positive impact on home resale value worth the risk. Our recent paint color analysis survey found that homes with black or charcoal gray doors sold for $6,271 more than average. Houses in this color category sold faster than others and were viewed more favorably by potential buyers. When painting, consider the region you live in. Pick a paint that's appropriate for your climate if it's prone to rain and snow. Traditional exterior paints cannot resist mildew or mold because they are primarily made for indoor use. So, if you live in a place that gets a lot of rain or snow, consider looking for mildew-resistant or mold-resistant paint, preferably one that was specially formulated with antimicrobial chemicals to prevent them from forming. These paints will last for the number of years indicated on the side of the container. Here are some tips to keep in mind when choosing your front door color. When it comes to front door paint, it's important to understand the different properties that can give you the best performance. Now that you know what to look for, it's time to pick a color. Black and dark gray may be popular colors, but remember, there's always the freedom of choice. 1. If you're thinking about a new coat of paint on your walls, start with samples. Paint chip cards can only tell you so much. Invest in a few sample cans of paint and try them out on your door or other surfaces. See how it looks at different times of day just to make sure the color is what you're looking for. 2. If you're in need of exterior home color ideas, match your color to the trim, shutters, and siding. This will make your color scheme cohesive and beautiful. For example, the light top dark color will go well with white trim and brown siding. 3. When deciding on the style and design of your home, it's important to consider what architectural style you're going for. For a bright, modern look at its front door, choose a bold color like yellow or orange. For a more traditional style, choose muted colors such as blue or gray. For an instant classic look, use red brick with a white front door. 4. Consider the language of color when you choose what color to paint your front door. Red, orange, and yellow are friendly colors that invite visitors in. Blue is soothing and peaceful, white makes a simplistic statement, and purple has an adventurous spirit. 5. For the front door paint project to go quickly, choose one that's similar to or darker than the current hue. To apply a lighter shade over a darker one, you will need 2 coats of primer and an ample time for the second coat to dry and set before painting. 6. One aspect to consider during design is the element corresponding to your front door's direction. Each element has its own corresponding colors, so consider using these. Red for a south-facing door, blue for a north-facing door, white for a west-facing door, and green for an east-facing door. 7. Express yourself. You don't have to stick with one color if you have a front door, so get creative. You can always repaint the front door to the perfect hue that suits your style or meets the resale value you're looking for. 8. You don't have to paint the inside and outside of your front door the same color. If you want your front door to be more subdued but colorful at home, try painting the inner surface in a bright, cheery hue while leaving the outer one a little more low-key. If you're tackling a front door paint project, we've got the advice you need for great looking and long-lasting results. Number 1. Purchase enough paint. It's important to purchase enough exterior paint. A typical door measuring 80 inches by 36 inches will require about 1 quart of paint for a fully covered surface. When it comes to ordering online, there's nothing that can't be delivered straight to your front door. It's just one less hassle of the project. Number 2. Consider the time. Paint outside at the right time of year. In general, it's best to paint in spring or fall when there's plenty of sunshine and mild temperatures. If you're painting with oil-based paint, painting during warm daytime temperatures between 40 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit is best. Otherwise, using latex paint and following the guidelines for daylight painting hours will be best. Paint early in the day so that the door will be dry completely by evening so you can reattach your security hardware. Number 3. Remove the door. Remove any screws that secure the door to the hinges and leave the hinges in place on the door frame. Remove the door and set it up on 2 sawhorses in a convenient area such as your driveway. Put some drop cloths around your workspace so you don't get paint all over your house. Number 4. Prepare for paint. Homeowners can prep for paint by sanding and removing any loose chips. Then, use a sponge and detergent to wipe away any dust or dirt before the surface is completely dry. Finally, remove any hardware. Number 5. Apply in sections. One tip is to apply in sections, focusing on the trim and edges first. The panel should be rolled with a roller 6 inches wide, with more detailed work being done using brushes. Number 6. Go with the grain. If you have a wood door, paint it in the direction of the grain. Number 7. Allow it to dry. After you've let the door set and dry, it's time to reattach your locks. If any adhesive remains on the door, remove it before attaching locks or knobs. You are now ready to enjoy the new, clean look of a freshly painted front door. Painting interior doors is a similar process that will give your home a clean and new appearance. That's it for this video, Real Estate Heaven fan. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you'll start to see results. See you soon!